in the Southampton football team. Not Jason Dodd. Not Andrew Svensson. Matt Letizia came close to making him crack a smile. But Francis Benali never stood a chance. Thankfully though, we, his friends, could.
Now we, as a group of friends, we've been really close for a long time, and we've all grown up together and shared a lot. I'll take it for granted, but when I think about that, I realise that that's pretty great. And Dan's been a vital member of our group, as has Zoe, to be honest, for years now, and a long way that continue.
Is that it?
It's supposed to be 8 minutes, isn't it?
As well as his miserable stage, Dan experienced several other stages in his life. There was the manly stage. I don't know how many petting zoos everyone's been to in the room, but I've never had the urge to take my shirt off.
You got that keyed up, right?
There was the sporty stage. Dan obviously exhibiting some excellent football skills there. And obviously football running throughout the Lions family. Becky even had a go herself.
Wee!
And finally, obviously without mention, is the poser stage.
Sexy body.
Great, we believe Dan still holds today.
All of these stages, to be honest, was building up to the most important meeting of Dan's life.
Ah, bless.
Dan and Zoe met at college, much younger than most couples do. When the rest of us were mucking about and being idiots, Dan was busy meeting his future wife.
Around 6 months into their relationship, they moved in together. They were 16 and 17 years old at the time, and they've remained living together ever since. Over the next 8 or 9 years, a lot changed as we grow older, but Dan and Zoe didn't. Throughout everything that happened as we grew up as friends, they remained unchanged. They were the constant and seemed to grow closer and closer as time passed.
So, about 2 years ago, we heard of the inevitable. Dan and Zoe were to become man and wife. Now, when Dan asked us three to be his best men, we had a pretty tough task ahead of us.
You could say we had a mountain to climb.
Well,
That's not real.
A race against time.
That one definitely is real.
You could call it an epic quest.
A mission, perhaps. To save Dan's bride.
As I'm sure you all
Is that
know,
Zoe's bum?
that's not Photoshop, sorry about that. That's the real deal. As I'm sure you all know, Dan and Zoe do everything together. They always have done. A good example of this revealed itself to us last week at our suit fitting for this wedding. Dan, rather smugly I might add, commented on the fact that he'd lost some weight since our first fitting. I asked him how he'd lost these extra pounds, had he been going running, had he been working out, and to which he quickly replied, without thinking, "Oh no mate, actually I've been working out with Zoe in the lounge to our women's workout DVD." This DVD.
I'm not ashamed of that.
You will be Instantly, Dan regretted giving away this vital piece of information. But as he said there, I was pretty sure he was thinking, it's not like they've got any photos of me doing this extremely feminine workout or anything. And unfortunately, we don't have any photographic evidence. But if we did, we imagine it would look something like this.
Less chatty, more speechy.
Jokes aside, Dan's been a great friend to the three of us, and to many here and elsewhere for a long, long time now. He's a lovely bloke, great and honest as you'll meet. And he's just really a fantastic person to be friends with.
Alright.
Get
a bit lost.
Dan and Zoe getting married, sharing their lives together, it was never really a case of if, but when. And that's been the case for as long as I can remember. When we were planning this speech, the one thing we all noticed straight away was these two really are inseparable. So much so that I don't remember the last time any of us refer to them as individuals. It's always been Dan and Zoe.
In fact, we're fairly sure they're one of the first couples in history to book their wedding before the grooms even proposed. But we think that this highlights a really nice relationship trait, and that's that whilst today's no doubt a very special day for Dan and Zoe, we think they just see this as a chance for a party and celebrate the fact that for a long time they've known that they want to spend the rest of their lives together. And we think that that to them is far more important than just this one day.
I think it'd be hard pushed to find any couple really that have been together for 8 years from college. I think it's really rare. It's a real testament to how strong those two are. Regardless of how anyone looks at it, though, they just work, and ultimately that's all that matters. So, if I can find the glass. Where is it? We can share one. We wish you the best of luck for the future, and we're glad that we'll be a part of it as well.
Thank you.
Cheers.
We feel free to clap.
Come on, boys. Not clapping that shit.